expert Dr. Deborah Young and sex therapist Emily Diala, and they are taking your questions. Our first phone call has come in from Lisa this morning. Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, how are you?
Good. And what is your question?
I had a question. I've been in a relationship with this guy for 3 years, and I just found out last year that he's married with 4 children. Oh. And he's telling me that he doesn't want to leave me, he wants me, he loves me, and the situation over there is something else. And I have all these feelings because of 3 years. You know you have to love the guy. And I was wondering, how did you hide this? How did you hide your relationship from me? We go places, we do everything together. He stays at my house. I go to his house.
Is his wife and children, do they live here in town?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
And I just found out about him about 3 months ago.
I'd like to address that. May I?
Okay. All right. All right. So wait, let me first ask, what is your question?
How do you move on from this type of relationship?
Okay. The first thing I want you to do is tap and close the spigot on that box of wine. There's no way that you should be in a relationship with someone that long and you haven't smelt a bit of coffee brewing. I mean, there have been things that you've been ignoring, and willfully so. The other thing that I want to say to you is, where's your self-esteem? I mean, do you really need someone to tell you, you know, I need help for you to stop throwing me under the bus? Do you think you're going to be treated any differently? These are things that, as long as you accept mediocrity, that is what you're going to have. And mediocrity, by definition, is the worst of the best and the best of the worst. So isn't it about time that you love yourself and stop looking for someone else to do it?
But I got to say, if she didn't know, you're right. There probably were signs, but oftentimes we excuse things, let alone somebody being married, we excuse the guy who beats us. We excuse the guy who cheats. We do that a lot, and vice versa. Men do that with women too, that they'll excuse the behavior. So it's not necessarily the fact that he's married. I think that is the big deal. It's just that this is not a respectful relationship. She's saying, I didn't know and I'm leaving.
But you do know now.
She feels like she's been, you're hurt. You've been hurt. You've been lied to. You've been cheated on. You're hurt.
Right. There's been an
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. What I want to say is that you may say that I've seen signs, but I didn't see signs. If someone takes you to their house and there's no woman there or anything there that belongs to a female,
how many houses
and
does he
then
have?
the lady just came into this country, then the lady comes into the country with 4 kids, and by the way, I'm married to this lady.
Okay,
that's when you know. I don't have a self-esteem problem or anything, because when I met him, he said he wasn't married.
Yeah.
And
that happens a lot. We've seen that.
But when you know better, you what? So now that you are aware, now that you know, it's one thing, and I'm not going to go and knock it and try to insult you. I'm not trying to do that. But what I do want you to do is think about this. If, in fact, now that you see this person has this pathology, now that you're aware that they can look you in the face without hesitation, deceive you, manipulate you, take advantage of you, isn't it time that you stop and ask yourself, what is it about me that I am lacking that allows me to just empower or give someone the room to treat me this way?
And I think, you know, I have worked with some master manipulators in my office. I mean, people can get away with a lot today. But the thing is, if he's done it to you, or if he did it to her and now he's doing it to you, he's going to continue to do it. I mean, the word pathology is probably appropriate to this situation. And so you just have to make a decision that I am going to wash my hands of this. I'm going to maintain my self-respect and integrity and get out. And you don't want your ego to get in the way either. A lot of times we think, okay, well, what did I do? What did I do? And, you know, you just got to let that go.
Yeah, and just sing the song all day, to the left, everything you own in a box to the left. You must not know about me. All right, let's go to Betty before we break out the Beyonce concert here. Good morning, Betty.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
You are welcome.
I moved to Texas a year ago to take care of my 100-year-old mother.
Wow.
And I connected with a classmate of mine from 1957 on Classmates. A friend of mine called me and told me that they were advertising with my annual, and I went online, read all my autographs, and everybody started hitting my guest book. Well, this particular person did, and I responded, and we've been in touch with each other for over a year now. He lives in Apple Valley, California. He's come to visit me twice, me and my mom, since I've been here. He's asked me to marry him, but it's difficult to marry someone when they're in California and I'm in Texas.
Yeah, and
but he's been so wonderful to me and my mom. He's helped us financially. He's supportive.
I will say get married then. Go ahead. No. And so how much real time have you all spent together?
Only, he came in May and then he came again in October. But we weren't really able to do a lot of things because of my mom.
Right. If your mom and the distance and the whole bit, and sometimes in the newness of a relationship is when it's the most perfect.
Well,
that's true.
It's not being tested. And there was a thing, someone called me one day and they said, Doc, I've been dating this person for a year. And just like what you just asked her, I said, well, how often do you see them? And they said probably every other week, and they come in. I said, well, how long does the flight take? How long is the commute, et cetera? When I did the math, it had been a year in cumulative time, but in quality time, it was less than 3 weeks. So what you're really looking at is a situation where you are not getting out. You are creating a relationship much more in construct and the things that you're intuiting much more than you're dealing with reality. What I would suggest that you do is ask him to come down and take about 21 days, if possible, to spend with you so you can see his ins, his outs, what he's about, how he responds to pressure.
And let me just ask Emily this. Is there something to be said for mature folks as well? A little bit different?
I think so. I mean, especially if it's not like she's in any rush. It doesn't sound like to jump into a marriage with this guy. I mean, that's nice that he's asked her to marry him, but I would definitely encourage them both to take their time. I mean, enjoy this time that they have together, but yes, if they're both a little bit older, maybe this is a second or third relationship for them, there's no reason why you can't just enjoy the time that you do have together and see what happens. Leave it open-ended. I mean, I always tell people, don't start, engagement ring shopping right away.
Why not?
Take some time to get to know.
Y'all are both silly.
Take the time to get to know someone a little bit organically, and I think it's a good thing. But there's something to be said for the long distance and the cumulative time you're spending together. I mean, this is why those relationships, like on The Bachelor, don't work out, because it's Napa would be a wonderful place to go visit, and I'm sure he's here and he's
but 6 weeks
holding
when he's
her
dating like 50
hand.
people.
And he's there for her with her mom, and that is wonderful. And I think that does show some wonderful qualities that this guy probably has, but they need to spend some longer, a longer time together.
Yeah, we put our best face forward in the first 6 months of a relationship. All right. As usual, this is one of those things that we could talk about forever, but we're out of time. But I want to thank both of you for sharing your expertise this morning. If you would like more information on our relationship experts today, just go to our website at greatdayhouston.com for more information. Well, all this week, Great Day correspondent Courtney Perna is thinking outside the gym with more unusual ways to get fit. This workout is comical, right, Courtney?
Deborah, this is truly a workout